Hi Virgo, welcome into your 2023 yearly tarot reading. I do want to thank you so much for your amazing presence, but I also want to remind you that this is general for your year, so simply take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I do more than appreciate you hitting that like button, commenting down below. Tell me how it resonates, what you're looking forward to most in the upcoming year, and as well subscribing to the channel if you haven't joined this strong Virgo tribe already. But now that the energy is nice and cleansed, we did I pre-pulled an overall energy for your year from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, and that energy for you is flow. Okay. If we take a look at this imagery, I do feel like there's a huge focus on your individual path, on your magical way of accomplishing and flowing with change in your life. Spirit saying it's a year where you simply won't feel the need to force it, right? Even if that, say, is a continuation in feeling and way of approaching, carrying from 2022 into 2023. But either way, there's a flow about your energy, about what you accomplish, about what you even initiate as far as change and adjustments go, and adapting to the twists and turns of your year all the meanwhile. And I just feel like you're you're seeing firsthand that when you touch something, when you create something, develop something, or even try to assist in one way, shape, or form, there's a magical transformation taking place due to how much you changed over time, your knowledge, your wisdom. One of the attempts to pull the overall energy, I did get knowledge, and it felt relevant to your year, but it didn't feel like the overall card I was meant to go with. All right. But yeah, there's a reminder that your pace of things when accomplishing, moving through how the year unravels for oneself, even overcoming obstacles, there's a reminder that your pace of things, however it ends up working for you, feeling like it's a reasonable, slow and steady kind of wins the race, or just a little bit above that or faster than that. Does that make sense? You're being reminded that's on point. Sorry if that was too wordy. But we're going to move on forward to the tarot and pull for each quarter of the year. Obviously, each containing 3 months. And then we'll further break down and clarify each quarter with 2 other tarot decks. So we're using the Mystic Mondays deck, as you can see. And we have the Hierophant for January, February, and March. Okay, the Two of Cups. I also did get the message of love taking a bit of a focus within your year. You could be meeting somebody new of importance, somebody who you feel you easily connect with in the category of love and romance. A quick label to be placed on that connection. Anyways, or it could be a huge focus on who you are already connected to entering this year, committed to even, and how that's developing and changing as you change as an individual. Okay. What do we have for the second quarter? We have the Queen of Wands, but we also have the King of Cups and the Six of Pentacles coming out. So I really do sense that there's a strong, emotionally fulfilled vibe about you, right? Not settling for less than what you feel you deserve at this point along your path. And I do feel like in the midst of acquiring certain levels of fulfillment and success, you're receiving that peaceful justice and abundance that you absolutely have earned, okay? Through some difficult choices, changes, through all your hard work up until this point, even throughout this year. But Spirit's saying healthcare routines as well take a focus. Are you working out enough, right? Are you meditating? Taking care of oneself as far as your energy goes, right? If you're empathic and you know this firsthand, are you cleansing your energy enough? Are you steering clear of people, places, and situations that aren't healthy for you overall? Are you trusting your intuition with the Hierophant here, okay? Because it feels like in the months of January, February, and March, you're going to see a huge focus on your third eye opening, starting to see the flow of your individual path become a lot more illuminated for oneself, right? How things are meant to change and develop moving forward. There's a sense that you've been a little bit foggy in regards to the future of your career, your love life, even certain friendships, right? Or just your soul development. Could be all what I just mentioned or some. But it's a feeling that you begin the year and it's this refreshing vibe where you're starting to see things a lot more clearly, okay? Let the clarity reign on in as you shift on forward, and this is also being pushed into your awareness as a form of abundance, okay? that gives you a sense of peace of mind in regards to how things are meant to move forward. Okay, and this may be sparking a new realization as to what you wish to change. Okay, or it could be a reminder in regards to what you already knew needed to change. Okay, but don't be surprised if you see a big development or switch up take place in the months of January, February, March, or even more than one. Okay. But there's also a focus on a foundation you've set for oneself and how that's building gradually. But I love that we have the Knight of Wands here, and we also have the Queen of Wands for the second quarter. So no shortage of passion and you marching to the beat of your own drum in the first half of the year. But Spirit's saying you're going to see new sparks of energy and healthy levels of energy and passion within oneself when it comes to changes you've made and you're now seeing results of which. Positive effects of which, or it could be in regards to, again, the change or changes at this point in the year. But naturally, with the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands pairing together for the first 3 months, there's a message of you trusting your third eye opening, the downloads you're getting, but more importantly, your strong Virgo intuition, and pairing that with marching to the beat of your own drum and seeing oneself ultra successful because of it all, period. Okay. There's no need to second guess is what I'm hearing. There's no need to second guess. I do feel like there's also an overall vibe in this first set of 3 months where you're doing some cleaning up, some organizing. This is really bothering me right here. But I just also feel like that touches base upon, in a larger sense, the areas of your life, your approach on things, right? And I feel like you're being very selective in regards to who you're associating oneself with. But I feel like you're very motivated, and Spirit's saying now that you have a clear vision, or more so in regards to how your path is meant to unravel, and even in regards to what you desire and what you need more so moving forward, and pairing that with, who and what's not going to work for you, making certain cuts, certain releases. It just feels like the motivation is a given, okay? It just feels quite natural for oneself. Now that could have paired with the Queen of Wands, but I see the Hierophant card again as I'm getting ready to clarify the Queen of Wands over here. In Spirit saying the changes that come to be throughout this year and that you're making adjustments for, or just even tweaking for oneself. If it's a continued change, you're seeing that it's adding a peaceful tone to your life, okay? And it just feels like you are asking oneself some important questions in regards to how to have more flow and peace consistently in one situation, okay? If it's gotta go, it's gotta go. Let's pull for the Queen of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune, absolutely beautiful. So the months of April, May, and June highlight the fact that the wheel is turning for you in your favor. Do be careful in these months that you don't allow for oneself to slip into a state of lack or just hanging around in situations that don't feel right for you, because it feels like you're going to see doors opening for you left and right throughout this year, right? And it all plays into you better understanding at this point your value, your worth, right? And what you deserve, and coming closer to, or just touching base upon, having a firm grasp, I want to say, on, again, what you want and desire and what you need. But anyway, so the Queen of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune saying these 3 months are showing you putting your foot down to the BS at times, right? But blossoming through all your hard work, through the changes, and seeing the wheel, if not multiple wheels, churn for you in your favor. It's time for Virgo to thrive in whatever and whoever they wrap oneself up with, right? Who says you have to settle for less, but at the same time, who says you have to change for anybody and anything that you choose to move forward with in one way, shape, or form, okay? It just feels like a very empowering 3 months for you, but potentially it could feel like that for the year as a whole. But I just feel like you're embodying this Queen of Wands energy so wholeheartedly in these 3 months. Again, April, May, and June, that people see you thriving through it all. It's this sort of magical way about you where you put your passionate note or passionate touch onto everything that you wrap oneself up in, even communication, okay? It's this effortless attracting of who and what's meant for you at this point along your path. And at times, given you're thriving and doing better and making changes and feeling a little bit risky. That might be surprising to hear for some drawn to the reading. Taking risks in small or even large ways. You're seeing people from the past pop back up, okay, for the better or for the worse, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be like a toxic ex. It could be, right? Or an ex in general, but I feel as if certain friends that you drifted just went in different directions in life, and you kind of felt intuitively or just knew you were meant to reconnect or come back to each other at a certain other point, and it feels like they're flowing towards you, or there's this effortless flow towards each other, reconnecting, okay? But this also gives you a very Four of Cups vibe, given you're easily attracting, manifesting, and people are seeing your worth and your shine, your glow, your magic, right? Even if they once didn't, you have to notice and recognize, trust that Virgo intuition once again when somebody or something is not meant for you, okay? I just heard even an old job could come back. Anyways, let's further clarify with the small everyday tarot. For the Knight of Wands, I got the Hanged Man. There's a vibe where you're hanging from the Tree of Wisdom, okay? Spirit might push you to adjust your perspective on a situation that feels healthy at times, or you let the positives at times outweigh the negatives, right? Or you may have been wearing your rose-tinted glasses, but you won't at the very least after those first 3 months, okay? But the Hierophant, again, that's 3 Hierophants in this reading. It signifies, with the Wheel of Fortune as well out here, a lot of major arcanas being a lot of significant change, transformation, you knowing who you're becoming more so at this point along your path, or starting to get a better grasp on that, right? You don't have to figure it all out overnight or by the end of this first half of the year, but it just feels like if it's a feeling of you loving who you're becoming, okay? And therefore, you're setting the tone for connections, for your career even, and people are loving who you're becoming as well, okay? I just heard you have to love oneself first. Let's pull for the middle for both, the Eight of Pentacles. But I feel like regardless of whether or not you see oneself putting effort towards connections, manifesting in more love or a different type of love, new friends, even people from the past, once again, it's all about your hard work in this first half of the year with the Eight of Pentacles, wanting to work on your business or your job, wanting to make money. I did see the Queen of Pentacles for mainly these 3 months, April, May, and June, but I just feel like you're seeing oneself evidently, and other people are seeing this as well, you changing through your work, right? And or just other changes in regards to you on a soul level in your life, shining through your work, shining through certain conversations. Your hard work pays off with, again, that peaceful abundance, to say the very least, okay? And it's this feeling with the King, and I want to say even the Queen of Cups. You're riding the waves, flowing with how things are developing for you in more than one way, within and outside of you, and it's proving to be very, very successful, to say the very least, all right? Yeah, the Sun card here, as well as the High Priestess, a very spiritually connected first half of the year, where, again, we're speaking upon your intuition, okay? Interesting, because I'm now realizing I spoke upon the Hierophant kind of like the High Priestess when it came to your intuition in the beginning. But with the third eye there, it came out for a reason, okay? You see the way is what I'm hearing, but the Sun card and the High Priest is talking about how through the connection to spirit, to the connection to your inner voice, higher self, your intuition, all the meanwhile, you are going to find that by the end of this first half of the year, there's just a sunnier way about you and your experiences, okay? And you're not settling for unhealthiness, right? And it reminds you that completion is a must, okay? It leads you to happier days. But I do feel like because you're so hardworking, there is a reminder, make sure you do some healing and find a balance in it all as you move forward. Wow, bear with me. Got a little bit twitchy there. We're gonna clear the board and shift on forward to the second half of the year. Just bear with me. I'm also feeling this vibe where you're not afraid to, or just holding oneself back from stopping at certain points to kind of figure out how to move forward next, or to figure out if you're trusting your intuition, or just to kind of see the truth in a situation. Does that make sense? Or the truth in that opportunity being presented to you. But let's pull for July, August, and September. What do we have for Virgo for the third quarter of the year? The 10 of Pentacles. I'm hearing flowing towards your financial comfort, flowing towards levels of stability, and just, again, kind of coinciding with the imagery of the Hierophant from the first quarter. A pyramid, pyramid scheme might be presented to you, just be aware of that. But a pyramid sort of building up from the ground, right? Building from the ground up and just seeing oneself successful all the meanwhile. It feels like for a lot of foundation that you set in place, worked your ass off towards getting off the ground in 2022, that's paying off, especially at this point in the year. And then what do we have for the last 3 months? The 7 of Cups. While you're reminded you have a lot of choices when it comes to the last 3 months, but I feel like as well, there's a highlight on all that you still feel the need to accomplish. A sense that you're just, again, attracting in a lot of people, places, and situations that are leaving you with decisions to make. But you being very intuitive and just trusting oneself better by the end of the year, you're easily able to decipher who and what's to be trusted or would be healthy for you in order to see your life, your path flow and unravel in the way it's meant to, okay? I'm hearing there's a lot ahead for you. Let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles. I'm hearing zooming forward, but in a peaceful manner. Okay, you might find that there's chaotic energy you deal with at times, and that may remind you why you desire a change. Okay, but keep the pace reasonable, realistic rather, and healthy for you all the meanwhile. Okay, let's see here. Some of you, there might be a focus on the fact that I just saw the 2 of Swords, on you feeling a little bit unclear in regards to the future of your finances and or your career. But Spirit's saying this again is a year where clarity is coming to be. Illumination is taking place in a lot of ways, especially in regards to the areas that you feel, again, a bit foggy in regards to. It feels like you're, again, slowly but surely making your way towards financial comfort, towards career success. There's a focus on the fact that you don't give up as a Virgo. And if you start to question things or you do feel the need to give up on something, that's most likely going to be a situation that's not meant to last in your life, right? Or you just kind of snap out of it. It's going to vary from case to case, Virgo to Virgo. But I also feel like in the months of July, August, and September, Spirit's saying you might have been push to release a specific amount of money or multiple amounts in order to invest in something new, like a living situation, a car, something of the sort, a shift in your life that's improving your lifestyle. But there's just reflection on how much are you spending at this time in comparison to how much you're bringing in. You do have a financially comfortable future ahead for you, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't be realistic in regards to how much you're spending at this time in comparison to what you're taking in. The 4 of Wands coming out, as well as the Tower, okay? Due to a Tower moment from the recent past or taking place at this time, things are more so falling into place. But I feel as if this is to clarify the 7 of Cups, okay? Seeing oneself with choices, decisions to make towards the end of the year when it comes to October, November, December. A lot to accomplish, a lot to solidify in your mind, heart, and soul. But Spirit's saying, let's take our time in regards to figuring that out. But at the same time, don't question your intuition and what Spirit's telling you. What's being made quite clear at this point, okay? But I feel like these last 3 months of the year show you evidence and other people evidence that things are falling into place for you. Reasons to celebrate in regards to what you're manifesting, attracting, and all of that hard work proving worthy in the results of your, the fruits of your labor. Let's just put it that way, okay? But don't be surprised if when you do see oneself with all you still have to accomplish, all that you're attracting and manifesting, succeeding at, you still sort of think about what you don't have, right? It's this feeling that you just need to keep that gratitude alive, maybe thinking about places you want to travel to in the world still. But a connection, either way, takes a huge highlight in the last 3 months, okay? For the majority drawn to the reading, this is romantic. But let's further clarify with the small deck. Let's see here. For the Knight of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles, bear with me. I just started moving quite slowly as we further speak upon this part of the year. But again, July, August, and September, focus very much on your career, on your pentacles, on things growing and developing the way you're meant to, what they're meant to, right? And you growing in the way you're meant to. And so that may involve true levels of honesty. But Spirit's saying these 3 months highlight the fact that your Virgo voice is of true importance at this point along your path. It always has been, but there's a significance, right? And you might be spiritually connected to the point where a spiritual worker, where you're spoken through by Spirit. And so that in that way, your voice is absolutely important. But you're being reminded of protection, spiritually, angelically, and other people wanting to support you in regards to your endeavors, right? What you wish to succeed with. But I feel like you're golden. I just feel the need to say that you're golden, right? Just, it's like your analytical mind might take over at certain points, but don't let that transition to a state of overthinking, okay? Trust how you're feeling all the meanwhile. It's important to find that balance when making certain important decisions in the second half of the year as a whole. And for the Four of Wands, we have the Seven of Cups again, so 77. Okay, 747, look up that angel number meaning, 747. But again, the months of October, November, December, a lot to accomplish. It's as if people's masks are falling off. You're seeing people in their true colors. But there's this feeling that you're meant to go after more and not settle for less, right? And so it's like a fire is kind of lit under your ass a bit by Spirit, excuse my language, in these last 3 months in order to get you to go after something that will make you feel more royal, more on top of the world, more satisfying, fulfilling, all the meanwhile. And I feel like however this ends up working for you, it could be going after a new business idea, the perfect living situation for you. Could be making a big move in one way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? It could be going after the perfect connection. And it could be more than one thing. But I'm also hearing the finer things in life as I'm drawn to that diamond. The finer things in life. You deserve it. And I feel like it kind of connects into the Ten of Pentacles vibe in the third quarter of the year. But let's pull another one. There are snakes in the grass, so do keep that in mind. I feel like that could be at work, at home, could be both, or people you're considering as far as connecting with. The Three of Cups, absolutely beautiful. And so the second half of the year as a whole pushes you to reflect a bit. Don't overthink once again, but gives you so many reasons to and reminds you of the already existing reasons to celebrate, right? As things fall into place for you with that Four of Wands, as you see oneself easily connecting with people and seeing your career proceed in the way it's meant to in such a beautiful way, okay? People respect you, people are impressed by you, and people want more of what you have to offer. It's your innate ability, again, throughout the year of 2023, especially at the end, to flow towards what you deserve in such an effortless manner, or intuitively tapping into the fact that you should more so allow for it to flow towards, or for them to flow towards you, right? It's a beautiful skill set at this point along your path. Some would view it as a talent to know when to attract and when to move towards, or to find a balance between both, right? And so I feel as if, even though this is a very, very hardworking, I want to say busy year for you as a whole, by the end, you're going to see oneself feeling as if there's more balance brought back into your situation or implemented in general, right? In Spirit saying what you give birth to throughout this year, and for some, it's going to be in these last 3 months specifically. It'll feel rewarding, it will feel refreshing, more peaceful, and that's when you know it's right for you, okay? It'll feel passionate all the meanwhile. That peaceful passion that a Virgo absolutely deserves, and I want to say even needs in their life, okay? It's again a year where as you flow, right, as things change, you change. You're seeing oneself shining through it all, and again, redeveloping that balance, that groundedness, okay? But you're seeing one's path being illuminated before your very eyes, and you're seeing things unravel as they're meant to, as there are true levels of success and new opportunities, doors opening once again. It's a great year for you, Virgo, as you see oneself looking back by the end of this year, 2023, thinking, well, damn, this was a much better year than 2022, but life developing important year for oneself, okay? I really feel the need to remind you once again, you have that golden magical touch and people are quite impressed, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your year, and I'll see you next time.